Welcome to Pop the Question podcast, brought to you by Sunshine Coast Wedding Collective. I'm your host, Lou O'Brien, Sunshine Coast Wedding photographer and your guide to all things I do. If you're engaged and looking for fun, practical tips to plan your big day, you're in the right spot. Each week, I'll chat with a different wedding vendor to share advice and inspo in short, easy episodes. Now let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back to Pop the Question podcast with me, Lou O'Brien, and of course, Kiki here with me again today. Now, if you are newly engaged or engaged and are planning a wedding with seriously beautiful flowers, you are going to love this episode. Today, we are mixing it up a little bit and we're going to be talking green flags and red flags when choosing a wedding florist. And especially if you're planning a luxury style wedding and want things to be done just properly. So I am joined today by Ellie Ahern. She is the creative director and lead florist of Cottonflower Studio. I always want to say Cotton on Flower Studio, but it's Cottonflower Studio. Ellie has been a florist for nearly 13 years, working in Australia as well as overseas. And in 2024, she not only opened her own studio here on the Sunshine Coast, but she also became a mum, which might explain how she manages to juggle absolute chaos and creativity so effortlessly. So, as a wedding photographer, I can honestly say every time I've worked with Ellie, I'm absolutely blown away. She doesn't just arrange flowers, she turns them into stunning art pieces, the kind that stop you in your tracks and elevate the entire wedding day. So in this episode, we're breaking down what to look for in a florist behind just pretty blooms. We're chatting about trust, experience, logistics, and the behind the scenes planning that separate true professionals from beginners. Plus, red flags that couples should definitely watch out for. So if you want flowers that look incredible and a florist that you can truly trust on your day, this episode is for you. So let's dive into it. Hi, Ellie. How are you?
Hi, Lou. I'm so good. Getting all ramped up for wedding season.
Yes, it should be a good year, 2026.
Absolutely. No, we're super excited to have all these beautiful weddings on the coast.
Yeah, we are. Now, I wanted to ask you actually, so you've worked overseas as a florist as well. What's one of the most amazing places you've done a wedding at overseas?
Now, there's so many that we could choose from, but we did a beautiful sunset wedding on Primrose Hill in London, which is this
Ooh.
little tiny hill that kind of juts off from Regent's Park and has a beautiful overlooking of the city. It's really green and the weather really turned it on. So we had very big spring vibes, beautiful pops of color, and the couple were just so sweet and we just had the best time setting that up.
Oh, I love it. I love the name of it, Primrose Hill. So
Yeah,
cute.
it couldn't be more stunning to have a wedding on than Primrose Hill.
Yeah.
And all of the flowers that they chose were very typical English spring flowers that really looked really very beautiful.
Yeah. Well, the English are definitely known for their gardens and their flowers, aren't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the variety that we had to work with and the couple were amazing, letting us choose pretty much everything for their day. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it really came up well because we got to handpick all of the most perfect blooms and really work with the color palette that came through that they were looking for.
Wow. I'll have to have a look at some of those photos sometime.
For sure, I'm happy to send them through.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, so today we are going to have a little bit of fun. We're mixing it up a little bit, aren't we? So we're going to be talking green flags and red flags for what to look for when finding a florist. So I've put together a couple of little questions here. I'm going to pretend that I'm a bride and I'm going to be sending you an email asking a question. So we're going to start with the first one. Are you ready?
Perfect. Let's do it.
Okay, rightio. Question number 1. I'm getting married on the 15th of November on the Sunshine Coast, and I love tulips. Can I get a quote?
So if your florist says, absolutely, yes, let's do that, that is a big red flag, especially if they don't talk to you about any possible substitutions or changes with that flower type. That's because it's not in season and it's not going to hold well in November. So as much as we love to give tulips to all of our couples, They're one of my favorites too. If your florist says yes, absolutely, with no questions, that's a big red flag.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yes, tulips are so beautiful, but yeah, they're probably a winter.
Definitely. Look, it's not impossible, but we have to consider a lot of different components when we say yes, or if we do decide to get tulips as part of your wedding. If you have an outdoor wedding in the summer, your tulips aren't going to make it an hour into your ceremony.
No, no, they'll look a little bit sad.
They will.
Okay, let's get on to question number 2. Okay, question number 2. I'm having a beach wedding ceremony at 3:00, and I need my flowers moved from there to my hinterland reception that starts at 6. Can you do it?
Beautiful. So that is stunning. Best of both worlds to have a beach ceremony and then a reception up in the hinterland. Love that for the Sunshine Coast. However, if your florist does immediately say yes with that tight of a turnaround, that's a big red flag. So we have to think about how long your ceremony is going to go for, what photos you want to get on the beach with your beautiful flowers there as well. Also, the parking and the physically moving, especially if you're having on the beach ceremony,
Yeah.
and then the drive up into the hinterland, and time for us to set up your beautiful reception space too. So a big red flag would be immediately saying yes to that and not working with the couple and their timeline to be able to create that for them, but in a much, much longer time frame that would be required.
Okay, so how long do you think you would need to turn that around?
Yes, so we do driving time plus half an hour. Always got to give an extra half an hour. And then we do an hour post ceremony and an hour pre reception. So we do need a 3.5 hour window at a minimum to be able to do something like that. And that just allows you enough relaxed time to really enjoy your flowers. Your photographer who's there to capture all of your moments can get it all without my team coming in and sneaking out the back and carrying things around.
I know as a photographer, it's always hard when a florist has to come in and take the flowers from the arbor to the reception. But I love doing the group photos, like the family photos sometimes in front of that arbor because it's so beautiful. So that's such a great answer, because knowing that you need to allow a little bit of extra time if you're going to use the same flowers at your reception, so that we can also get those beautiful photos for you still at the ceremony with the flowers.
Absolutely. I talk to my couples about this all the time, that your ceremony is like one of your big moments that are going to be photographed. And that's the photos you're going to look back in 10, 20, 50 years' time, and you're going to see all of these. So we don't want to rush that time frame.
Awesome. Great answer. Thank you. Okay. We're going on to question number 3.
Beautiful.
It is, I'm having an outdoor wedding with a marquee and I want 5 hanging installations.
Amazing. Love to see that wedding. I think that would be incredible. So a red flag here, if your florist immediately says yes, but she has no evidence or they have no evidence to show you that they've done something on that big of a scale, that's a red flag. So we all build experience through different learnings, but on that much of a large scale with that many different components at work is very complex floristry. And not only that, we need to think about the structural integrity of the marquee. You're working at heights, your team members. There's lots of different components in that. So while yes, absolutely can be done, your florist, or if they have a big green flag against them, they're going to be talking you through all of these different considerations before saying yes to that installation.
Okay. Yes. Oh my gosh. Definitely not a DIY job and not a one-man band job.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to have a lot of logistics work, and often you'll be collaborating with other vendors as well to be able to create that kind of environment.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very good answer. Thank you. Okay. You ready for it? We got question number 4.
Beautiful.
Okay, here we go. I'm following up on an inquiry that I sent you 2 weeks ago about my wedding flowers. I'd like to get the quote, please.
Yes. So communication is huge when it comes to any of your wedding vendors, but especially in floristry, because we do have, a certain time period and we need to be able to pre-order all of your beautiful blooms for your wedding day. And that takes a lot of time. So if your florist doesn't immediately kind of get back to you, and this doesn't have to be in an hour, but we say at least a minimum no more than 3 days to be able to reply to you, definitely not 2 weeks. That is a red flag.
Okay. Yeah. It's a bit long, isn't it?
It is definitely a bit long, even in the crazy wedding season. 3 days really should be the max for you to be able to communicate with your florist, and they should be able to provide all your beautiful quotes, all your proposal decks, and also, well, we like to do a mood board as well, just so that we're both on very clear on the same page, and able to
Yes.
create that vibe for you as well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I love the mood board. That's so cool.
Me too. I love putting them together. I get very excited.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. We are coming on to our last question, question number 5. This question is, I'm getting married in spring next year, and I don't know what type of flowers I need.
Beautiful. You know what? We actually love this couple, especially if it ends with, we love your style and you can do whatever you feel will work the best at that venue or in that season. So this is where your green flag florist is really going to lead with their strategy. So she's going to talk to you through your venue, the different design options that are available to you, some of the flower varieties that are going to be available at that time of year as well, and also how to create the best impact and the most drama for your wedding day flowers. So this is where we get to really guide your vision and help to create the overall feeling and vibe that you want to have for your wedding. So this is a lot where, and we'll talk more about it, the trust comes into it, knowing that your florist is going to be able to handle all of the different designs. And she really is more of, let's talk about how we can do the best for you, more so than these blooms are nice and pretty and we can do that in that season. So it's a lot more about strategy if you want to have those professional done flowers on your wedding day.
Okay, I love that answer. Wow, you did so well. I liked this green flag, red flag. So many good answers there and things I hadn't even thought of.
Well, thank you. Yeah, there's lots to consider with your wedding day flowers, but that's why we're here and we can help walk you all through it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, we are moving on to my favorite part of the podcast, which is what it's all called, Pop the Question. So I have got here my little camera, which has our little mystery wedding themed question inside. Well, it's getting a bit low. I have to get some more in here, but we are going to pull one out. It's always fun. Love this. Okay, let's have a look. What is our question? Okay, here we go. This is actually kind of cool. Think of a time that you had to improvise and save the day. I feel like this is a florist question.
This is absolutely a florist question. And
yeah,
yes, there's actually so many examples that are like popping in to my brain.
They're all like coming in quick and fast.
Yeah, they're like, remember that time? Remember that time? So I think one of the big ones we had to improvise was the couple had a beautiful outdoor ceremony planned. They had 2 like hollow structures that we were attaching our floral clouds to. So beautiful. Everything was done. We were having 3 clouds on one side, 2 clouds on the other. It was going to be stunning, all in white. And as we arrived, we went down to the ceremony place and the 2 structures were standing there and they had absolutely no supports in the ground. They were just 2 metal structures on the side of a hill out in the open. And I was like, okay, maybe they just haven't gotten to this stage just yet. They wanted to confirm their location before nailing them into the ground. That was not the case. They weren't on site anymore, and now that became our drama. So what my team and I did, we always carry like little like tea towel, like dark colored tea towels and things like this in our kit. And so we had a few tea towels come out and I sent some of the girls into the gardens to find some nice large heavy rocks. And what we had done was create a little mound of rocks, and we repositioned our clouds to hide those rock mounds and give a nice structurally sound design for sure that it didn't fall over on them on the day. But yes, so we do like to think on our feet, and we are usually prepared for most situations.
Well, I'm glad you saved the day with those pillars because my gosh, if
it wouldn't take much for one of the bridal couple or the celebrant or someone in the bridal party just to knock it and it just to all go over. So awesome. Well, before we finish up, Ellie, I always love to be able to give our listeners a great tip or an actionable step to move forward. So if someone was looking for a wedding florist, what would be that top tip to give them?
Okay, so I do have two. So I would say to the couples, there's a question that I would ask any of your wedding florists, and that would be, how would you handle anything that happens unexpectedly on my wedding day? So this will draw out the professionalism, their strategy, their experience in one quick question. And also you get to know exactly how they run in that kind of vibe and in that environment. And the second one would be to trust your florist. So if above everything else that you trust them with your vision, and you trust them to make, on the day decisions that are going to align with your vision. And you trust that they're going to be able to do a really beautiful job and tie all of that work that you've been doing for the last 12, 18 plus months to give you the wedding day of your dreams. So yeah, ask them about what would they do if anything unexpected happens, and that you trust them completely.
Yeah, they are two amazing tips. They're so good. And I feel like sometimes that can kind of also go across a lot of the wedding vendors. One of the big things is trust, isn't it? So that's great. Yeah. And as a florist, I think, Mother Nature creates our beautiful flowers that you use, and you don't have any control over the actual specific color, things that are out of your control. You just got to trust the florist that they know how to bring that beautiful vision to life. And your florals are always so artistic and gorgeous in structure. I absolutely love them. I love photographing them. They just are so beautiful. So yes, definitely trust Ellie. And if you guys are wanting to find out how to get in touch with Ellie, you can find all the details on my website, which is imagesbylouobrien.com/pop the question. Thank you so much, Ellie, for taking the time to chat to me today. It's been really interesting and informative.
It has been my pleasure. I'm so glad to talk weddings with you too, Lou.
Yay. Okay, well, you have a great day.
You too. Bye.
That's it today. Share this episode with your engaged friends, leave a like and comment. You can grab the show notes at imagesbylouobrien.com/pop the question. Happy wedding planning, everyone, and we'll see you next week.